So the producers came up with a plan. They said the only way to learn about vans is to actually go out, buy one and run it.
Yeah, so they gave each of us £1,000, told us to buy a van, sign right the side with our company name and then report to the Top Gear test track here for a number of challenges.
Because I know so little about vans, I did what Hammond had done in the earlier test, played it safe and bought myself a Ford Transit.
Long wheelbase, 2.5-litre diesel engine, only done 77,000 miles, apparently. And do you know how much I paid for it? 800 quid.
James, meanwhile, had stuck to his theory of biggest is best and bought a huge LDV box van.
James, are you filming with us today or are you moving house?
James, however, was more bothered about my sign writing.
What have you done with that sign?
Top Gear Furriers.
Couriers?
Oh, couriers. It's top... I may have...
No, wait.
God, that's a superb thing. It's brilliant.
It's not
and
bad.
How much was it?
950 quid.
And now we have to wait for Bob the Builder, really, don't we?
Who eventually did arrive.
Did you, like, wash it on too hot a setting?
I have to leave that wound up there because I ran out.
I see what you've done.
Ran out of space a little bit.
Well, you would.
It's a Suzuki Super Carry.
Super Carry.
Optimistic title. It's
Like a
basically
supermarket and a super tanker.
It's basically a Bedford Rascal.
Yeah.
It's got nearly a 900cc engine. 0 to 60, 18, 19 seconds.
I would imagine that's quicker than mine.
Well, let's see, because it's time to get on with the challenges.
Here it is, the first instruction of the day. We start with something with which you should be familiar, a quarter-mile drag race. Who's got the fastest van?
What's that actually got to do with anything?
You're going to come last.
Actually, there is a point. The self-employed van driver can't afford to waste his day with a tool that isn't quick enough.
Mid-engine, it's right here, which gives me perfect weight distribution, so dynamically, I'm already ahead.
I wasn't expecting much oomph, unlike our cameraman, who's used to filming much faster stuff than this.
No match for Hamster. Look at his postage stamp. No!
Probably the best part of 50 brake horsepower. I'm just leaving them for dead.
James and I had the same 2.5-litre Ford engine, but he had more weight.
Goodbye, mate. Come on!
Yeah! I'm going to pass the finishing line, and I'm doing nearly 60!
Second. Average.
James came a noisy last in motorsport's slowest ever drag race, and Hammond had won it, which seemed to please him.
Where did that come from?
Then it was time for challenge number 2.
A good van driver must be able to load his van as quickly and efficiently as possible. You must now fill your vehicles with a selection of cargo and deliver it safely to the drop-off. You will be racing each other.
I hope it's a really big pile of stuff.
I don't like manual labour.
Our cargo included all the bits and bobs a man in a van might be expected to carry. Everything from vases to expensive works of art, and from double mattresses to illegal immigrants.
3, 2, 1, go!
There's one with
Baby issues.
taller.
Richard really did have a size problem, and his van was pretty small as well.
Painted by Ronnie Shepherd.
James was having problems with his illegal immigrant.
Come on,
So he decided to employ him. Meanwhile, Jeremy was being as practical as ever. That's... Just mind that.
Who says that loading a van is a slow process? That didn't break. That didn't break. Yes, it did. That did. How do you say you go in the front in Albanian?
get in the back, hide under the mattress,
You look like my...
and you owe me 20 grand. I'm done.
Hold tight.
James had indeed set off first, but the winner was the first to cross the line and then get his van unloaded. So I hatched a dastardly plan.
Unload that, May. Empty. I think I've won something.
Cannily, James had driven a few feet forward so he could unload. But he was still having trouble with his inner Groot. He therefore finished second. Hammond, well, he looked ridiculous, and he was last.
I'll tell you what, though.
What?
We're no worse than the last removal people I used.
So, the next challenge then. Here we go.
Possibly the most important skill a van driver must have is the ability to sit right on the tail of the car in front. So each of you must now drive up the runway and get as close as possible to the bumper of a lane hogger in front without touching. The closer you get, the more points you get.
Hammond went first, with Jeremy and I posing as the lane hoggers.
Right, 40. Here we go. Set.
We would measure the gap between us using a special laser mounted on the back of the car.
This would be quite easy in my van because, of course, it's got a completely flat front. So basically, I just keep going till my knees touch the back.
It's like being followed by a small insect. And he's not frightening me.
He's 31.9 millimetres away, which is a vast, yawning chasm.
It is. You could park a bus in that gap, Hammond.
Hammond responded. 18.9. 10.34 millimetres.
Well, you did a 10.3.
Next, it was Jeremy with 10.3 millimetres to beat. Here he comes, here he comes. Now, that's a familiar sight on the road, isn't it?
80 millimetres, 60 millimetres.
This is the problem with the Transit, is you cannot see where the front is. You just can't, there's nothing.
What's he doing?
With most of my torso out of the window, I had a much clearer view.
No, he's hit us. He's hit us quite... No, that's...
He must have bent the bumper slightly because it went to -6 millimetres.
Finally, it was James's turn, and he had an even bigger problem than me.
I can't catch up.
What's it saying?
Well,
Does it measure in miles?
Come on.
We are going to run out of runway before James gets anywhere near us.
I really can't terrorise them at this range.
Captain Slow, living up to his name there. And now, the next challenge. Van drivers never waste their profits on vehicle maintenance. So, you must now each change the front door of your own van. You'll be racing against each other.
That's more manual labour.
Yes, it is.
3, 2, 1, go!
Right.
Can I be excused this?
Oh, look.
The producers said no, so while the others set to work with spanners, I broke out my ingenuity.
James, can I borrow your van? I think that did the trick. That's off.
Soon we were all trying to attach the new doors with varying degrees of intelligence.
It's impossible!
Yeah! I was the first to finish without using sellotape.
Is the door in place?
Go and open it.
What?
Go and open
It doesn't say anything about opening it. It said put a new door.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
James, meanwhile, was taking so long that he ran out of time.
I was about to finish.
No, you weren't. You were fiddling with your spanners, polishing them.
You've given them all names. This is Jeffrey, this is Ian, this is Stephen.
Get on with it.